I've often found myself at a crossroads, questioning my purpose and doubting my abilities. But there came a pivotal moment when I looked in the mirror and realized that the person who has the most power to uplift or destroy my dreams is me. This realization wasn't easy, nor did it happen overnight. It was the culmination of countless moments when I had to face my own weaknesses, excuses, and fears. I had to ask myself, am I truly showing up as my best self? Am I living up to the potential I know I have? And every time, the answer was, I can do more. It's an ongoing battle, this life. But I've learned that I am the one who determines whether I win or lose. If I want to achieve anything, I first need to conquer myself. I am my own biggest obstacle and my own greatest ally. There was a time when I would blame external factors for my failures. I'd find reasons outside myself to explain why I wasn't progressing. Maybe I felt that life was unfair, or that others had advantages I didn't. But that's just an illusion, a trap that kept me in a cycle of stagnation. I remember waking up one morning, frustrated with the way things were going, and it dawned on me the one consistent factor in all my struggles was me. I had to own up to the fact that I had let myself down. Time and again, it was a sobering thought, but it was also empowering. From that point on, I made a promise to myself that I would stop making excuses. I decided to take control, to be fully accountable for my life. That wasn't an easy shift. I had to confront some uncomfortable truths and habits that had held me back for years. I had to retrain my mind to focus on what I could control rather than what I couldn't. I realized that by blaming others or my circumstances, I was giving away my power. The next step was learning to value my time and energy. I understood that these were my most precious resources, yet I was spending them carelessly. I would waste hours on mindless distractions, thinking I deserved a break from the struggles of life. I told myself I needed to unwind, to have some me time, but in reality, I was escaping from the very things I needed to confront. I decided to make a change. I started setting boundaries for myself, replacing old habits with new ones that aligned with my goals. For instance, instead of spending hours scrolling through social media or watching TV, I chose to invest that time into reading and learning new skills. At first, it felt like a chore, but as I continued, I noticed a shift. I felt more energized and driven because I was feeding my mind with things that added value to my life. It's not easy to maintain this level of discipline. There are days when I want to revert to my old ways, but I remind myself that every minute I spend investing in myself is a step closer to the life I want. Discipline, I've learned, isn't about depriving myself. It's about making choices that align with my values and goals. As I continued on this path, I began setting higher standards for myself. I knew that if I wanted to achieve great things, I couldn't settle for mediocrity. I had to push beyond what was comfortable and easy. That meant setting goals that scared me, goals that felt almost out of reach. I remember when I decided to pursue a certification that required rigorous study and long hours of preparation. There were moments when I doubted my ability to see it through, but I had made a commitment, not just to myself, but to my future. I pushed through the late nights, the frustrations, and the self-doubt. When I finally passed the exam, the sense of accomplishment was indescribable. I had proven to myself that I was capable of more than I had ever believed. Setting high standards isn't about achieving perfection. It's about constantly striving to be better than I was yesterday. I realized that every time I raised the bar, I grew stronger, more resilient, and more confident in my abilities. And this growth had a ripple effect on every aspect of my life. Life has taught me that the road to success is paved with challenges. It's a journey that demands resilience, persistence, and a willingness to embrace discomfort. There have been times when I felt like giving up. The setbacks were overwhelming, and the path forward seemed impossible. But I've come to understand that struggle is a necessary part of growth. I remember a particularly difficult project that seemed destined for failure. Despite my best efforts, things kept going wrong. I was tempted to abandon it, to cut my losses and move on. But then I thought about all the times I had given up in the past, and how each time I had felt a sense of regret. I didn't want to feel that again, so I pressed on. And eventually, I found a way through. This experience taught me that resilience isn't just about enduring pain. It's about finding strength in the struggle. It's about learning to see setbacks as opportunities for growth, rather than as insurmountable obstacles. Now, when I face challenges, I remind myself that each one is a chance to become stronger and wiser. As I've navigated these challenges, I've also discovered the importance of living with purpose. For a long time, I was chasing goals that didn't truly resonate with me. I was trying to meet expectations set by others, rather than following my own path. But through self-reflection, I realized that fulfillment comes from aligning my actions with my values and passions. Finding my purpose has been a transformative experience. It has given me a sense of direction and clarity that guides my decisions and actions. I no longer seek validation from others, because I know that I am living a life that is true to myself. My purpose gives me the motivation to keep going, even when the road gets tough. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned is the importance of taking full responsibility for my life. There was a time when I would blame others for my problems, thinking that my circumstances were beyond my control. But I've come to realize that I am the architect of my own life. I had to confront the reality that my choices had led me to where I was. It wasn't easy to accept, but it was liberating. Taking responsibility means recognizing that I have the power to shape my destiny. It means letting go of excuses and committing to making the most of my potential. My journey has taught me that the greatest battle I will ever face is the one within myself. It's a battle that requires courage, perseverance, and an unwavering belief in my own worth. I've learned that I am capable of more than I ever imagined, and that the only limits are the ones I place on myself. I share my story in the hope that it will inspire others to look within, to confront their own fears, and to take control of their lives. We all have the power to create a life of purpose and fulfillment. It starts with a single step, a commitment to becoming the best version of ourselves. Life is too short to settle for anything less than greatness. Embrace the journey, face the challenges, and never stop striving to be the person you were meant to be. Remember, it's you against you, and you have everything you need to win.